You would expect from a person like me who doesn't consider the Templars pure evil and has tried to defend them many times in the past before to actually like playing as a Templar and see the world from their point of view. And in that aspect, you are correct. But much to my disappointment, for Rogue's plot to kick off, the writers had to make terrible decisions and the main character an idiot, who constantly contradicts his own motivations. Don't take me wrong though, there were certainly things I liked in Rogue and would even consider good. But 1, they did not save the story, and 2, could still be improved on. I made an entire series to explain what was wrong with Rogue's storytelling, so I don't constantly have to explain it over and over again for hundreds of hours. I do like you to watch it before watching this video, but it is not necessarily needed, but it has way more depth and has more counter arguments and answers a lot of questions you might want to ask me. So if you want to check it out, I put a link in the description down below. I will only focus on Shay's biggest motivations, reasons why he turned Rogue back in the homestead, because I realized during the writing progress of this video, if you want to discuss Shay as a character in full detail, you better make a video that is 4 hours long. So I'm only gonna focus on a few aspects of Shay's character and the story here. Let's start with a small summary of the events that transpired before Shay turned Rogue, so everyone's on the same page here. Shay is a man who doesn't mind to have fun and is part of the Colonial Brotherhood of Assassins in the 18th century. He is talented in his job and has a good relationship with his colleagues, even though he does kind of slack off to listen in on private conversations, and he has an urge to question the decision making of the Brotherhood when it comes to committing murder. We learn quickly that Shay is not fully devoted to the Assassin Brotherhood and its ideology and philosophy, which is not a bad idea if you want your character to turn rogue. After a few hours of playtime, the Colonial Brotherhood learns about the whereabouts of a piece of Eden in Lisbon, and because Shay happens to know that place, Achilles sends him to retrieve the artifact, but informs him that pieces of Eden are powerful relics.
Be careful, Shay. Pieces of Eden are powerful relics.
Upon arriving in Lisbon, Shay finds the entrance to the first civilization temple that stores the artifact and retrieves it for the Brotherhood. But unknown to him, if the artifact is removed, it will cause an earthquake to happen, killing everyone in a certain mile radius. After accidentally killing probably every single person in Lisbon, he returns back to the homestead where the Colonial Brotherhood is located and storms into his mentor's room and accuses Achilles of knowing what would happen if he removed the artifact. He blames Achilles for purposely sending him on a lane to destroy an entire city and ending the lives of everyone inside of it. Achilles orders Shay to be escorted out of the room and nothing happens, nothing changed, so Shay decides that he will take matters in his own hands. He breaks into Achilles' home and steals the manuscript which is used to locate these temples and pieces of Eden. He comes into a fight with Achilles and barely escapes from the homestead alive. Without making this longer, from that point forward, he meets unknowingly Templars like Moreau and helps them. One day he finds out that his new colleagues are Templars, so he joins them to stop the assassins from messing with these artifacts. The problem here lies though that the events that transpired to make Shay turn and stay with the Templar Order makes no sense. All of this happened because of a communication error. I remind you all of this happened because of a communication error.
You serious?
See, the thing is, Shay has no real reason to accuse Achilles of purposely sending him into a death trap where he will kill thousands of people.
Tell me what happened, old friend.
It was terrible, Achilles. The ground shook and the ocean waves crashed over Port-au-Prince.
How many were lost?
Thousands. No family was left untouched.
I hate to bring up practical matters at a time like this, but did Macandal's man complete his task before the earthquake hit?
I cannot know. Vonredi has not been found. He was a strong Maroon, one of Macandal's best students.
Such a shame. So we cannot know if he found the site.
Indeed. But if there was a temple under the waves, I doubt it is still standing.
So we cannot know if he found the site.
But if there was a temple under the waves, I doubt it is still standing.
There's no evidence story-wise before the moment, beside that one conversation that actually didn't even confirm that Achilles knew it. So everything that is going on here is just Shay making false accusations and assumptions. You could try to argue that it makes sense for Shay to not think clearly after the events in Lisbon because of the emotional shock. And I will agree with you here to a certain extent. Shay is a man who wants to help people and defend those who can defend themselves, and even more. So killing thousands of innocents conflicts with his moral compass and etc. Doesn't excuse the game for trying to prove Shay right for accusing Achilles over the course of the story. See, the biggest problem is that Shay contradicts his entire motivation for leaving the Assassin Brotherhood. Shay leaves because he killed innocent people. He wants to defend the innocents. He wants to help people. He doesn't want to destroy cities, and he considers the Brotherhood terrible. So he can join the Templar Order, who doesn't mind to start wars, destroy cities, and to kill innocents to achieve their new world order, to stop the assassins from destroying cities, kill innocents, and mindlessly using artifacts. Even though the Templars are the ones who like to use the artifacts on the people, in contrast to the assassins who like to hide the pieces of Eden. And Shay is doing a terrible job at explaining the whole situation to Achilles. Yeah, that is pretty stupid. And it doesn't really help that the game never really tries to delve into the topic with a lot of depth. So now people are left speculating on Shay's character and try to defend his decision in every single way possible. Theoretically speaking, Shay should leave the Templar Order too, because of their ideology and philosophy. He will not even get along with most of the Templars we've seen so far in the franchise. Shay has no problem with saving people like the Oneida, nor did he even show hatred towards them. But he's part of the same Templar right, who doesn't mind to physically harm a child for information, calling him a savage and just laughing at the whole situation, eventually knocking the child out without obtaining the information and leaving him in the open. And some other members of the Templar Order has committed massacres on those villages. Ironically though, Shay just happens to kill those people before he joins the Templar Order. Another example would be Haytham and Charlesley purposely creating the Boston massacres. He joins the people who own plantations, negotiate with slave traders, have a history of attacking Oneida-like villages, like I said. Create and start more bloody revolutions or destruction of entire cities than the assassins do. It's just as stupid as Adewale buying slaves and keeping them in shackles, believing that they are free, even though that would contradict his characterization plus him breaking the Assassin's Creed. People are trying to defend Shay's decisions in almost every single way imaginable, even if it means they have to make up their own self-made logic to fill in the gaps of the story. And that is something Rogue is really good at, I guess, leaving things open for the player's imagination, even if the story has to suffer for it and the characters. I'm not expecting many people to agree with me here, but seriously, for Shay to turn a new leaf, they had to make the Assassins the Templars or something that resembles the wars of them. And they had to make the Templars nice people who only want you to sleep safely in your bed and go to work, but completely ignore the biggest reasons why they want you to do that. Yes, I'm aware of the grey area, but there are essential differences between the two orders, which Rogue ignores for no reason and hopes you don't pay a lot of attention to the dialogue and the ideological conflict. Speaking of the grey area, bad mentors do not automatically mean a good grey story. Don't worry mentors, I will get to you one day. I'm a Templar fan and I'm just disappointed with the portrayal of the Templars in Assassin's Creed Rogue. This is Obi-YTP-Kenobi and I hope you have a fun day or night wherever you are.
My God. I've stumbled across the most powerful weapon in the game!
Please stop.
For you see, long ago, this pebble was forged in the fiery pits of Tartarus by the grand blacksmith of Lucifer himself, in a time before the world began. And thus, Marjosa, guardian of the pebble, fell to his knees and passed from this world, leaving behind the mighty weapon, for he knew that one day...
Are you done?
Yes.
I have a feeling you get beat up a lot in real life.
Shut up! Here I have power!
We will make it through.